I want to shift here a little bit to your personal story and why you are such an inspiration to me, and I would imagine to many people in your life. Life is full of challenges. We all have challenges, and you were given a great challenge as a mother to have a special needs child that was born that actually never spoke,
Mm.
right?
Right, right, yeah,
Y-
yeah,
so with Dominic, your son, uh, you well, I'm going to let you tell me a little bit. Just tell our audience a little bit about Dominic
mm,
and what that was like for you as a mother of a child that you loved dearly, but you were really had to take care of everything for him, right?
yeah. It wasn't, but it wasn't just the taking care of him that was a challenge. It was, just living with the decision of having him at home. This is back in the 70s when a lot of people in Northern California were having their children at home with midwives, and I was 19 years old, and I did the same thing, but my story didn't turn out as successful as a lot of other people's story of having him at home. And he got stuck in the birth canal, and he was lack of oxygen on the brain, and so he was born with cerebral palsy and epilepsy. And the different things that I went through raising him, and taking care of him, there was no book to teach me what to do. There was no, Dr. Spock didn't talk about special needs, and
Uh-huh.
so I was having to learn everything that I learned from, and Google was not around either. There was no Google search. So everything that I learned was with my own research, and the books of people that did write books way out, way back then, and just trial and error. And my poor son, he was the guinea pig, or the person I was experiment. But I took that path because I felt like the consequences or the side effects were not as detrimental of medication for his seizures. So I took that path, but I was really judged to take that path also. When Dominique was born, the natural products, I mean, the trade shows, it was probably 20 booths there. So
Yeah.
we had to make our own tofu. It wasn't like it is today. And I felt very alone, all the time, very alone raising him. And then when I would hang out with other parents that had children and they would talk about their stories, I remember just saying, now what am I going to say, without doing a pity party or whatever. So um, there was a lot of emotional and physical, challenges that I had to learn in that. But I still say he was the biggest blessing of my life. He really was.
I don't want to give this away because it's in the book, but you have wonderful closure,
Yeah,
and you realize that this was meant to be. I mean, I think one of the things that
absolutely.
you and I share the belief that we come into this life with a plan.
That's
We
right.
have agreements. We come in, we've made agreements with people in our life to have experiences that we we would probably never agree to if we were here, but we
Absolutely.
agree to it before we come in. And I know not that's not everyone's belief, and I certainly honor everybody else's belief, but that's one that you and I share. And so when things happen that you wouldn't ask for, you did on some level. Your soul asked for that on some level.
Absolutely.
And the
My belief shifted. I was born, Catholic, and then went to born again Christian, and I was afraid for anyone to talk to me about anything other than what you can see and hear. And for me to be approached by someone that led me to believe that they could actually help me understand what Dominique wants, because he didn't speak a word. And that's all I wanted was, what do you want, Dominique? What do you want me to do? Especially at the end when it was getting harder and harder. What do you want me to do?
Mhm. And at that point, you were guided to someone that was able to actually have a conversation with
God
Dom.
brought this woman into my life like it was supernatural. And like I share in the book, I avoided it, but it was very strong. And in the book, I don't think anybody can even doubt how God played his hands in that whole experience.
Mhm.